Welcome, soldier, to the world of Foxhole. To skip this, just click on the screen. Here we get to set our options. You can check the credits, and there is a menu with some news, but right now we're interested in playing, so we hit the play button. Now we come to the shard selection screen. Here you get to pick which shard you want to play on, either live 1 or live 2. Right now we're going to go for a live 1. We can see that in the top right it also says live 1 or live 2, depending on which one we chose. So if we go back to a live 1, with live 1 selected, we hit play. Now we come to the faction selection screen. One thing to be aware of when choosing a faction is that if you choose a faction, you would tie to that faction for that war, for that shard. So if on live 1 I choose Wardens, I will be tied to the Wardens for this war on shard 1. I still can choose Colonials on shard 2, and I can switch factions in the next war, but for this war I will be tied to the Warden. So be sure to find out whether your friends are playing Collie or Warden. Going to go with Wardens. We come to the profile page. So if you want to, you can still change to Colonials, but we will be sticking with the Wardens. Once we are sure, we hit deploy and we will end up in Home Island. In the top left is your currently equipped weapon. Below that is your stamina bar, which will start depleting as soon as you start sprinting or when you are walking around over encumbered. Below that will be status icons like the ones indicating that you are over encumbered, that you are bleeding out, that you are freezing, and that you are muddy. In the top right is your compass. In the middle right is the squad panel, where you can choose which squads to join. In the bottom right is the text chat. In the bottom left, possible interaction keys with structures, buildings, and vehicles will be displayed. If we press M, we open the map. Right now, the map will only show you the home island and not the actual war map. But on the home island, we can see there is trench training to the north, there is vehicle training to the north, and there is a driving course and an artillery range. If we look to the south, you can follow a watercraft training course, you can check the basic training and the logi training and resource training. To use proximity voice chat, you press T to talk. You press a G to talk in your squad voice channel. You press enter to open the text chat, and while you are in text chat, you can press tab to switch through the different text chat channels. Those consist of the region team channel, which will relay your text to just the people in your current region, which in this case would be the home island. There is world team, which will be visible to everybody in your entire faction. If you press tab again, we come to world logi, which is meant for logi requests and announcements. Then there is world intelligence, which is meant for people relaying intelligence. Anything you type in local all will be displayed above your head and will be visible to everyone in roughly your screen area, and that includes the enemy. W, S, A, and D will move you around. If you come up to an obstacle, you can use spacebar to vault over it. To crouch, you press C. To stand back up again, you press C again. You press X to go prone, and X again to stand up. If you hold shift and move around, you will be sprinting. If you hold down the middle mouse button, it will turn around your camera. And if you hold down the right mouse button, you can basically zoom out the camera. In order to join the actual war, we want to find ourselves a deployment point. To do that, we press M to open our map and we look for these icons that say deploy. And if we go over there, We come over here, and in the bottom left, we can see press E to open deployment point. So we press E to open the deployment point, and we get an overview of the entire world map. If you want to do logistics, you probably want to be in one of the backline maps. So that would be the backline maps. And if you want to join the front line, you want to be somewhere where green meets blue, because that will mean conflict. The diamond shapes on the maps are the available spawn points, and the white rings emanating from those diamond shapes are an indication of how populated those spawn points are. We can zoom in on the map by using the scroll wheel, and if we hover over the deployment point in Abandoned Ward, we get extra information, which tells us that the friendly population at this point is medium, travel is available, and it is a contested region. To get to Abandoned Ward, all we need to do now is just click this spawn point, and it will start to travel us over. Alright, we arrived at Abandoned Ward. The first order of business would be to make sure to set our spawn. So we look in the bottom left, it says press E to use town base. So we press E to use the town base. We can see that we get a menu. In the menu, the first thing we look for is the actions panel, and we want to be sure that we set our spawn here, and that is this button that looks like a house. So we click that and make this our spawn point. This town base is already our spawn point, so that is good. Another thing we definitely want to check is the amount of soldier supplies that are available. These are soldier supplies, and these are used whenever somebody respawns here or spawns in from home island. So when I go out and I die and I respawn in this base, I will use up one of these soldier supplies. And if we run out, we can't spawn here anymore. So you want to be sure that there are soldier supplies and you can respawn. In this row with the icons, we get to sort the stockpile by category. So if we click on the icon that looks like 3 bullets, we get to small arms. That's where we find rifles and SMGs and auto rifles and revolvers. If we click on the icon that looks like a bomb, we go to the heavy arms category. Things like AT rifles are here, mortar shells are here, and grenades and sticky bombs are here. If you click on the wrench icon, you get to see all the utilities, things like shovels, tripods, wrenches, radios, gas masks, and gas filters are here. If you click the cross icon, you get an overview of all the medical items and the spawn supplies or soldier supplies. If we click the jerrycan icon, we can find the resources, things like diesel, basic materials for building barbed wire metal beams for building tank traps, and sandbags for sandbag walls, amongst others. And if you click the helmet icon, we find the different uniforms. Now, first off, we want to equip ourselves with a rifle. So we come to the small arms category, we select the rifle, and if we click it, we can see that it starts assembling, and as soon as it's assembled, it will appear in our backpack. Now we want rifle ammo, which is the 7.62. So if we click that, we get 1 clip of rifle ammo. Let's click it again, and we have 2. Now we press escape to exit out of the stockpile menu. We press tab to open our inventory. We can see that the inventory is split up between equipment and a backpack. To be able to use our rifle, we need to have our rifle in our equipment. To do that, we just click on the rifle and we can see that it swapped places with the hammer, and it is now in the first slot. Pistol is in the second, and the third slot is empty. Now, if we press tab to get out of our inventory and we press 1, we will equip our rifle, as we can see in the top left. We can see that it doesn't have any ammo in it, so we press R to reload. And once it is done reloading, we can see that we have 12 out of 12. Now, in order to fire, We hold down right mouse button and we fire, and we can see that there is 11 shots in this rifle. We press tab and we check our inventory. We see that we have an extra clip. If we press R to reload, it will get rid of the original clip and it will put in a new clip. So there is not 11 shots here. That clip is gone. To join the front line inside the base, we press E real quick to update our map intelligence. We press M to open the map, and we can see that to our southwest and to our west is where blue meets green, which is where we will find the fighting. Now that we died, we have to wait for the respawn timer to go to 0 before we can actually hit the spawn button. So now that the respawn timer is back to 0, we can hit the spawn button and we have a choice. We haven't set a forward base spawn, but we did set our spawn at the town base. So if we click that, we can see there is still 662 soldier supplies left. So we don't have to fear to be running out for now. We click that, we respawn in Abandoned Ward in the town base. To change into a specialist uniform, we come to the base, we press E to open it up, and if we go to the uniform category, remember that is the helmet icon, we can see that right now there is a physician's jacket available for people who want to play medic, and it has some bonuses. It will make bandages and blood plasma stack, and if we check the Sievage Parka, which is the Warden Snow uniform, and that would be good if there would be a snowstorm. So the way to equip another uniform is first make sure that we have it. So you click on, for instance, the Parka. It will assemble into our backpack. We escape out, we press tab to open our inventory, and now if we click on the Sievage Parka, we can see that it will change places with the infantry battle dress, and we can see that we are now sporting the Sievage Parka.